Good morning to you. It is Veterans Day. Coming up, a look at what's planned for the Bozeman area, and later on a complete list of Veterans Day events across the region.
And in a fitting Veterans Day tribute, families reunited as soldiers in Great Falls get back from a 4-month deployment. Coming up, a look at their touching return.
Those stories always just destroy me. Awesome. I can't, when the people come back and surprise the kids at the school, I can't even do it. Yeah, it's too good.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hi, Matt.
Winter in every sense of the word out there this morning.
You know, we're not seeing a lot of snow. There's still some snow out there, but our skies are actually fairly clear. It's all lingering. Our problem is the snow and ice on the area roadways. Yeah. It is dangerously slick in many areas. This is our road report for Bozeman Pass, Homestake Pass. We're talking snow and ice, a lot of black ice being reported from commuters already this morning. Belgrade to Manhattan, scattered snow and ice. Ennis to Virginia City, a lot of reports of black ice. Same situation on Norris Hill. This is a look at Homestake Pass this morning. Traffic still moving along. It's just a slow go for the early part of the day. This is Bozeman Pass along I-90. Yeah, it's going to be a slow drive. This is a look at Norris Hill. You can't really see as much right now, but it is slick. Just take my word for it. Temperatures this morning down into the single digits, even some sub-zero temperatures. Bundle the kids up on the way out the door. The afternoon is going to warm up into the 30s. With plenty of sunshine, it'll feel much better than what we're dealing with now, but it's still very cold. We're going to talk about that, what you can expect as we head through the rest of the week. That's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. 6:30 on the dot here on your Monday. Now, a woman was sent to the hospital after being shot at a bar in Billings on Saturday night.
Billings Police Department responded to a shooting occurred about 11 o'clock Saturday evening at Shooter's Bar and Casino. According to Sergeant Gunther with Billings Police, 24-year-old victim was transported to a local hospital, while a 22-year-old was arrested in connection to the shooting. The investigation continues. Police say there is no public safety threat because of it.
And as we mentioned, congratulated and wished you a very happy Veterans Day today.
Yeah, and MTN's Gabby Crevitt has a report on what activities will be taking place in Bozeman to honor our vets.
If it wasn't for the veterans, we wouldn't have the freedom we have today.
Veterans Day is a time to honor and pay respects to those who have served.
The reason that we celebrate it is for the veterans that have defended this country.
Starting at 6 a.m., people will gather outside the American Legion to put flags up around Main Street. Free breakfast will be served from 7 a.m. to 9 at the Legion Hall. Then at 11 a.m., the American Legion will begin their Veterans Day memorial service at the Vietnam War Memorial in Sunset Hills Cemetery.
We protected this country in World War II all the way back from Spanish-American War until now.
The American Legion says you can show your support for local Montana veterans by donating to the Southwest Montana Veterans Cemetery that's currently under construction in Bozeman. Last year, the city of Bozeman received $58,000 to help fund the Southwest Montana Veterans Cemetery inside of Bozeman's Sunset Hills Cemetery. An additional $88,000 was budgeted by the city for the project.
I'm sure that every family in this area, or even the United States, has someone at one time or another that has served in the military and is a veteran. Your grandfather might have served, your uncle might have served, your aunt, your sister. And it's all important that you remember that the duty they did and weren't shy about going and doing it.
A number of schools across Bozeman will be holding school assemblies in honor of local veterans, and the American Legion will be picking up flags on Main Street tomorrow at 4 p.m. In Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Now coming up at 6:45, we'll have a rundown of what services are open and closed on this holiday, as well as a rundown of Veterans Day celebrations scheduled across the area. You can also find a more detailed list of today's events by visiting our website.
And an exciting and emotional homecoming took place on Friday for about 100 airmen. 4
C-130s from the 120th Airlift Wing touched down in Great Falls after a 4-month deployment.
MTN's Caitlin Boysel was there as the airmen were reunited with their friends and family.
With the crowd cheering, families are patiently waiting for their loved ones.
Just want them to get home right now.
After over 4 months of deployment, 100 airmen are coming home today to see their families.
I'm just excited to be back with my family.
And how to have quality time with their loved ones.
Probably play Mario Kart.
Even when their loved ones away, they still kept in contact.
We'd also send letters. Yeah, that's like our thing. We have like 80 letters.
With all the signs to welcome them home, the troops walked to their loved ones.
It was a good deployment. We did a lot of productive things, and it's just nice to be home.
Reporting in Great Falls, Caitlin Boycell, MTN News.
Welcome home.
Yes.
6:34 now. We're going to shift it up a bit. The Bozeman Public Library will be participating in Montana State University's Can the Grizz food drive.
That's right. The library is currently accepting non-perishable food items and will waive $1 in fines per food item for up to $20. The food will go directly to the Gallatin Valley Food Bank and towards the goal for the the cats. The Bozeman Public Library says fines for food is a great way to help remove barriers and ensure that the library's resources are accessible for everyone.
People kind of know that we do this periodically to just get rid of the fines. So the food one is a fun way to, kind of participate in a community event as well as taking care of your fines.
The Bozeman Public Library will be accepting food donations until the Cat Grizz game kickoff. That's important to note, which is Saturday, November 23rd.
And you can go drop it off just if you don't have a fine. You can still go in and do it.
Absolutely.
Too.
You can just help out with the kindness of your heart.
That's true.
Yes.
Shifting it up one more time, for certain people, the taste of Eugene's Pizza in Glasgow, why, it's the best in the world.
That's what they say. We have yet to try it. And when the craving hits, they are willing to go to the extreme lengths to satisfy their hunger.
Co-owners Sam and Jeff Nodal are willing to go to great lengths to make sure their fans are satisfied. Here's this morning's Under the Big Sky.
Under the Big Sky is sponsored by Rocky Mountain Vein Clinic and Markovich Real Estate.
I think we're kind of a, how do I say it, kind of a fixture in Glasgow, I would say. People really like Eugene's. We got a lot of huge fans out there. We get college kids that come back home to Glasgow and they stop here before they go home. We get to see quite a few things like that. It's pretty neat. I just mailed 5 pizzas to Arizona yesterday. Well, we started doing that several years ago, actually, probably 8 or 10 years ago. And we do it quite a bit. I sent 1 to Whitefish, Montana just a week ago, 6 to Kansas the week before that. So we send it out all the time. We get people calling and asking about shipping. And when I tell them how much shipping is, because I never know, it's just an approximation for me. So I'll say, well, it's going to be like $90 to $100. They're like, oh my God. I don't think they realize that it has to go next day air. So I mailed 5 pizzas to Arizona in the heat. I haven't told them yet, but it was $173 shipping for 5 pizzas. So with the pizzas, we're talking about $250-ish. So, yeah. Well, that one was for a girl from Glasgow. It's her 40th birthday. And so we made it kind of special. I think it'll be really special. We put 40 in pepperoni on the top of the pizza for her. And then I had one of the girls down here write under the pizza, on the pizza circle, make a big happy birthday with balloons and stuff. So I think she'll get a nice little surprise. So that'll help ease the pain of that $173 shipping charge.
So save your pennies
Yeah.
and watch the full Eugene's Pizza story at underthebigsky.com.
You can't be running those stories at breakfast
it's
time for
fuller,
us
isn't
as
it?
after we've been up for hours.
My stomach's
You
growling.
can't do that. You can't do that. It is November. It is National Adoption Month.
Here's a stat for you. There are more than 3,000 children in foster care in Montana alone.
Staggering number there. Now this morning we're going to introduce you to a very special child. His name is Jared. MTN's Jenny Fick has his story.
Jared is 20 months old.
He is a very lovable child that has a smile that will melt anybody's heart.
Jared has been in foster care for almost 2 years. He was removed when he was 2 months old due to physical abuse.
There's so many kids out there that need a home. There's a lot of kids that are easier to place than children like Jared. But if people open up their hearts and their minds, I know that there's a home for him. There's a place for him that will love him forever.
He is a shaken baby with permanent injuries as a result of the trauma.
Blind for the most part. He sees lights and shadows out of the right eye. He is 100% G-tube dependent. He's on a BiPAP at night. He has a stander that he uses daily, and he has to be stretched multiple times throughout the day.
Jared will require a home that will be able to provide stay-at-home care or a nurse. Some monetary assistance will help with the cost of care.
Would be able to get the adoption subsidy and Medicaid for him.
He loves dogs.
The little dog we have likes to sleep next to him, and he kind of curls into him and likes it.
Jared has taught his foster family a lot in his short 2 years of life.
Learn that these kids teach me more than I teach them. They also give us more than we are able to give them. And to me, that makes it all worthwhile.
And though the road ahead may not be a totally easy one, Ryder says it is a doable one.
Because I love watching them grow and change and just become who they're meant to be while they're with us. And I just pray that when they leave our house, they continue to do that, and wherever they go finds the same excitement and joy and peace that I do in it all.
In Billings, Jenny Fick, MTN News.
Baby Jared. Now, for more information regarding an adoptive home, visit our website and click on the community tab. Handsome little fella.
Absolutely.
What a story he has. Good Monday morning to you. We're so glad that you're with us. In a moment, testimony from behind closed doors. The impeachment inquiry goes public this week.
But first, we're going to check in with Gail King to see what's coming up at 7 o'clock on CBS this morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS this morning, we're tracking a powerful Arctic blast that could shatter records for cold and dump heavy snow from upstate New York to New England. Not ready here. Plus, public hearings in the impeachment inquiry. They start on Wednesday. So we'll break down what to expect on that. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.